I'm a little shocked. I'm shocked by what I'm reading and hearing about loneliness. I would have thought that by now, a couple of years since the pandemic, when we were verifiably alone, isolated, and lonely, sitting in our houses, afraid to, unable to, not allowed to step outside, I would have thought by now our sense of loneliness, which is always a sense, it would have diminished dramatically. But the reality, according to what I'm reading, is we're still feeling isolated. We're still suffering from loneliness. And people don't do well when they're isolated and lonely. I think the most dangerous human condition is loneliness. We need to belong. We need to be together. We need to break bread together. More on that in a moment. We need to feel each other and bump up against each other. We need to smell each other, hear each other, know that we're in the presence of other people, know that we're supported, know that we're not journeying through a moment of life, let alone life alone. I said I'd talk about eating. I like eating. And the reason I want to mention it in relation to this story is that there's another interesting statistic that you don't need to read about, you just know, which is eating out. The cost of eating out has gone up so dramatically. Well, statistically, we know that reports say that the cost of food has gone up by 30 some percent. I spoke with a chef recently that said the cost in reality has gone up by 65%, maybe closer to 70%, which means we're less inclined to do something natural and human and edifying, strengthening, and good, which is to break bread together, to sit over a table and talk and catch up with each other. So what do we do about this? Well, one thing is push against it, fight against it like gravity. Know that it has its own natural force, but so do you. Call somebody and say, can we walk or talk? Can I make you a coffee? Can we sit in my backyard or living room? Can we find time not to be on screens? Can we tell our kids and our grandkids, just be aware that every time you're on a screen looking down, you're not looking up and seeing life and people who care about you and need you and want to know about your story. Just know when you're sitting in a restaurant looking down, the world isn't waiting for you to come back. Things are changing and happening. And maybe looking up will be more beneficial, much more so if there's somebody sitting across from you. Let's find each other now, always, more and more consistently, to the benefit of each other and ourselves.